basic commands and using Git on your machine, and then how to connect to GitHub and do collaborate on projects with your friends and colleagues. So for today, we have three speakers. One is me. The first one is me, Aditya Ranjan Jha. I'm Aditya Ranjan Jha. And second one is my teammate, Utsav Mehta. And third one is my other teammate, Soham Sen. So guys, before starting Git, you should know some basic terminal commands, and many of you asked us about it when the session started, like when we were waiting for you to confirm your installation status. So first, let's discuss the flow of this workshop. So after the workshop is over, we hope that you could benefit all of these things. Like you would be able to collaborate with your friends. You would know some basic Linux commands, and in a way, you would start your open source journey. And for that, before Git, I'll brief you about Linux terminal commands. So this will be a long session, about 3 hours. So before that, you should know that if you have any doubts, you can post it in the chat box, and after a while, like after explaining for some time, we'll also ask you to if you have any doubts, you can raise your hands. We'll ask you chance by chance, and we'll clear your doubts. So we have no problem. You can ping us after that also. It's a general phenomena that while long workshops, you may miss your attention span uh, would not be so long. So to stop you from getting distracted, we would keep one or two fun quizzes in between the workshop and at the end, and would enjoy that. Then, as I told earlier from the beginning, we are always here in this channel. You can ping us anytime near the post. You can reply below that post. This workshop is being recorded. It will be uploaded to KOSS IIT Kharagpur YouTube channel. So finally, I think this much introduction about workshop is more than enough. I should start. And as all of you were asking a common question about do we need to learn some basic commands? So you don't need to, we'll teach you that also, and you'll be your terminal ninja by the end. So to start, use my Git bash, and this is the Git bash UI. You can see here, what you normally do is you interact with the graphical user interface of your machine. You right click here, and you have some options to perform. You can create a new file. You can go to other file by clicking on it. So what does this terminal do is that you can put up some instruction. These are specified set of instruction. You can put it up here, and it will do the same action. So to brief, as we know, on your machines, there are address. Everything has been assigned an address. So every folder, every file in it has an address. So to go to that address, we need to put an instruction to go to that address. But what is that address called on machine? It is called in directory. So when I open my terminal, to check where am I'll type pwd to know my present working directory. So it is showing me here. And I want to come on my desktop, and my PC is linked through OneDrive. So I know that to come to desktop, I'll have to come to OneDrive, then to desktop. Next file is OneDrive. So to check what files are there in this directory, I'll do ls, list all the files. And as we can see, is the file OneDrive. So now I know that I want to go to this folder OneDrive. So to do that, I'll do a command cd change directory. I'll do cd OneDrive, and if I press tab now, it will complete for me. It knows it's smart. The terminal is smart enough to know what I'll be typing, and OneDrive. And now I want to go on desktop. So again, I will type des, and like I'll put tab, it will complete it for me. Then now I've come to my desktop. Like now I check what's the present working directory, list the files, folders. Like you can see, these all folders are here. Okay, so this was like coming to the directory where we want to work on your project or something. So to create a directory or create a folder, what will I do? In normal scenario, like I'll right click and I'll do new and folder. But we have to be a terminal ninja. So for that, we would do a command known as mkdir make directory. Do uh, mkdir, and like suppose I want to make a folder book.
1 minute.
Hello. Do you have any doubts? Yeah, I hope like it was a mistake. Okay. So now I made a folder book, came here, and like if you want to make a folder with like separated names like mkdir or suppose you want to make like your first book, so like it would be first book. You do that. You have to do it in quotes. Why? Because if you don't put it in quotes, it will create two folders, two separate folders. It will create one folder first and it will create next folder book. So to avoid that and to create one such folder, we'll do we'll put this in quotes, and like it's generally a good practice to keep it in quotes so that you avoid this mistake. I'll do this, and my first book folder came here. You can see now. Like I'll do my like explanation in this book folder. So I don't want it here. Just wanted you to demonstrate it. So to remove this folder, I'll do rm rf. I'll put a space in between, then rf, and I'll put the folder name. I hope that like you code along with me. If even if you miss something, I'll I'll ask you at the end. Okay. I'll do I want to delete first book. I'll do first book.
Hello.
Hello. Yeah.
Sorry to interrupt, but I'm not able to go to the desktop directly. So,
Maybe your device is also linked to like your OneDrive. Have you checked like into going into the OneDrive folder? Like my PC is linked to OneDrive, so to go to OneDrive then to desktop.
no, I go to this PC, then no, sorry.
And
Yeah, I go to this
like
PC and then there are
sometimes like if
folders.
you don't know what's your directory, if you are not able to check about any folder, so like when you come here workspace, like I want to click go to my workspace. If you are not able to do that, it's like an alternate option. You can do git bash here. See, you can
Yeah,
like
yeah.
see what's its address. Okay. So like if you want to
So,
come to desktop, you can also like check like this, or you can open your file explorer and check.
okay, now it's working. Thank you.
It's working. Okay. Okay. Okay, so like guys, I hope like you are able to keep track, um, and also like my teammates are in the chat box. If any doubt you have, you can like put it in the chat box. I'll also see them at the end. They'll be replying as ASAP, uh, like they can. And like okay, so where were we? Uh, the first book folder. Because we wanted to work in this book. But to work in this project, we have to go to this address to do something. So I'll again do cd. I'll go to book. Sorry, book. I'm here in the book. Like here, you can see that I'm on here in the book folder. Okay, now like this was all about creating folders, making directories. Now, what if I want to create a file in? So to do that, we have a command called patch. And patch will create a file. Just it will create a file. So suppose I want to name it chapter1 dot txt, and I'll do enter. So like if I check here, we have it, chapter1.txt. Okay, so it's a text file, so that's an extension. So now if I like want to print something on terminal, like if you have PDS, you all know this, like hello world. It will print it on terminal. But what if I want to print this in the file? So for that, I'll do echo hello world as before. Then I'll put this angular bracket or greater than symbol. Then I'll enter the file name in which I want to put it, chapter1.txt. Sorry, I put a code by mistake. Don't need it because like it's a one word. Now when I like, when I check this hello world is printed in the file. Okay, so this is like a write command, echo. Now, what if you want to read this file on the terminal? You can do that too. Cat ch1 chapter1.txt. It will read hello world, whatever is printed on this. Okay. So I hope like you are with me right now. So to sum up, I'll again like I'll be summing up. So if you miss, like you can check. First, we made a directory. Then we entered the directory. Then we created a file. Then we like printed something on terminal, but we wanted it in the file, so we did print it in the file. Then I read it from the file. Now like I don't like this file, so I like want to remove this file. So here I did rf first move. This was for removing the folder. But what to do for file? You just like you can do rm and the file name chapter1.txt. Okay. So now like if I open this folder, it did not have anything on it. Okay, and now this was like coming into directory. What if you want to go back a directory? So you don't need to like again type cd this. So you can just do cd and space double dot, and it will come one directory back. It came to the desktop, and you can like come multiple directories back. So to do that, you have to do cd dot dot this dot dot this. And what does I have put like two sets of dot dot. This slash is like separating the addresses. It's like an arrow to go to the next directory. So like dot dot is coming back a previous directory. So 2 times dot dot would mean I would have to come like 2 directories back. So if I do that, now if I check my pwd present working directory, I'm in C user service. I came 2 directories back. So like this much terminal commands for this workshop are like enough. You can always dwell on it. You can read the net, and like for a developer, using net is very essential. Like to know every command and every like aspect of this terminal commands, you have to like web browse. So for this workshop, this much commands are like enough. And I hope like you could carry with me what I was saying, and I can like move to
Explain the
this.
last part, like.
Yeah. Okay. You want to take me doubt session right now? Okay. Like, okay. One second.
Let's not do it that way. Actually, the workshop is very big. It will create issues. So let's take doubts at the end of the first
I'll
Git session.
just, can you just wait like 2 minutes? I'll like complete my part and then I'll ask for doubts. Then the next speaker. Okay. I'll ask for doubts for sure. Okay, so I've become like, now, before like asking us what is Git, you should know why Git. Like one of my friends messaged me on Teams that what can I do with Git? But I asked him like, why do you need Git? So why do you need Git is that suppose you want to like collaborate with your friends, suppose that you want to keep a backup of your files, or like you want to control the versions of your project, like that you want to keep a timeline of your project, like Facebook keeps a timeline of your post. So in that way, if you want to keep a timeline of your code bases or projects, like the progress of your project, you need Git. It's a version control system. Okay, so now coming to the main question, what is Git? What will it help you? So like Git would help you to track your file. That's the basic point. Like it will help you to keep a backup of your files. It will keep the history of the files, history of what changes you have done in the file, when even the timestamp when you did that change, so that no one could like change, mess up with your projects. You can experiment using it. We'll show you all these in the upcoming parts of this workshop. I hope that you'll be patient and you'll enjoy this session for sure. Just keep learning, and at the end, you can, yes, collaborate with your friends, and like that's the gist of program. Okay, so this is like how the commits look. You'll learn this later, but just understand that how is it keeping the records of your session, like timestamp. It you can write a message that I did this change, everything, like who's the author of that change. You'll learn every bit of it in detail in the upcoming slides. But this is just an example to show you. Okay, and like of course this is a meme, like version control system. This is OG what we do, like OG version of what we usually do. So to like explain you how does Git work and like what are the basics of Git, my friend Utsab Mehta will continue from you. Okay, so sorry. Before that, like you have any doubts? Now you can raise your hands. Sorry, I'm sorry.
Go back from the working directory to the previous directory.
Yeah. You want to see that?
Yes, that command.
Okay, cd space two dots.
Okay, got it. That space. I was
Yeah,
missing.
space. Yeah, I think I told space, but you may have missed. Okay, no problem. Okay, any more doubts? This was a basic. You may have like less doubts, and you can just keep posting in the chat box. I'm also there. My friends are also there. So I think we should move further. Utsav will continue. Utsav Mehta.
Yeah, hello everyone. I'm Utsav Mehta and I will continue from here. Just wait a second. So I hope my screen is shared now. If anyone can confirm I am audible and the screen is shared.
Yeah, your
Yes,
screen
yes.
is shared and you are audible.
Yes.
Yes, you're audible.
Yeah. Okay, cool. So now that you have learned what is Git and uh, why you should learn Git, now let's see how we'll use it. So this is a mental model of Git workflow. So before directly going to the commands and all, we need to make a few things clear. So this is the Git workflow. Now this is the working directory. So what a working directory is basically it is your code base. It contains all the files and all the folders or all the code files, everything, maybe some images, everything. So this is a working directory. Now in the development process of a project, what you do is you change some code. Maybe you add some new lines of code to add a feature, or maybe you fix some bugs and change some line of code. So in the process, what you do using Git is that you add all those changed files to your staging area. Now what staging area is basically it is a place where all the changes that you have made in the working directory, all the files and the folders that you have changed, you add those to a staging area. And from the staging area, when you say git commit, it basically takes a snapshot of everything that you have changed along with the unchanged files and stores it. Basically Git remembers that what you have done and all the changes you have made, and then you end up in a repository. So this terminology of repository will be clear in a later part of workshop, but for the time being, consider this repository as a working directory itself after the changes are made. So I'll reiterate the process if it's not clear. So what you do is, in the development process, you generally change some code or add new lines of code. So in the process, you every file that you change, you add it to a staging area. And once you are done doing a significant amount of work, you commit those changes, and you result in this same working directory with the changes made. And this commit basically takes a snapshot of whatever you have done. So this snapshot thing will be useful whenever we want to go back to a particular commit. Means basically, when you have made some garbage code, maybe let's say you have written some code which is not working, and you want to go back to the previously written code which was working fine. So for those things, this commit will be necessary. Also, if you want to find who wrote a particular piece of code, when he wrote that, all this information is stored in the git commit. So you will see in the hands-on how it works, but this is the mental model of Git workflow, and keep it in the back of your mind while working with Git. So if this staging area is still not clear, I'll explain it through an example. So this is your working directory. Means consider this as a store, and you want to purchase some items. So what you do is you and these things that you can see here are your basically files or folders or whatever. So in the store, what you do is you select some few files, means few items, and the correspondence to Git, there are some few files which you change the code. So you select a few items and add them to your cart. Now, similarly in correspondence to Git, you change some files from this working directory and you add those to the staging area. So till now, I hope it's clear. The correspondence is clear that here there were items and you add those to your cart. And in our Git correspondence, there are some files which you have changed and you add those to a staging area. Now, in the store, what you do is, once you add those things in a cart and once you are done shopping, you go to the billing counter and purchase those things. Similarly, in Git, once we are done doing a significant amount of work of changing code or maybe adding code, whatever. So once we are done and all the things are ready in the staging area, we commit. So you can easily relate that the process of purchasing the items is same as committing from the staging area. So I hope this staging area is clear now. So now I will do a demo of how Git works. So basically, few commands are here. This git init command. Now, every time you open a particular project, at the starting of it and only once you type this git init command, because Git will not track every file and folder on your device, right? You need to tell Git that from this point onwards, I am going to start working on a particular project, and I need you to track all the changes that I will make, and just remember them. So for this, I request to everyone to work along with me. So open Git Bash on your device, and let's create a directory called workshop. Go inside it. So as you can see, this directory is created. Now now I want to tell Git that from this point onwards, please track all the changes that I do in this particular workshop folder. For that, the command is git init. Now, as you can see, it has initialized a Git repository in this particular folder. Now, on the backend, what it does, it has created a folder inside this. It is a .git folder. You don't need to know the contents of it. It is the internal working of Git. But if you want to verify that uh, the folder is created, the command for the same is ls minus a. As you can see, there is a .git folder, but it is hidden. You can't see it. Maybe some of you can see it based on your system, but it's not required for you to know what is inside it. Basically, now I'm sure that Git is tracking all my changes that I do in this workshop folder. So now this git ins command is clear. Now there is this git add file name command. So as I said here, that you once you are done making some changes in a uh, working directory, you add those changes to the staging area. And the command for the same is git add file name. So file name is the name of the file that you have changed, and git add file name adds that file from your working directory to your staging area. And I will do the hands-on and you will see how it works. And but before that, let me explain this commit command. So once the files and some significant amount of files, or maybe one file depending on your project, is there in the staging area and you want to commit them to your repository, you type this command called git commit, and it is followed by a -m flag and a nice commit message. So it is highly recommended that you write a good commit message along with your commit. Means along whenever the git stores a snapshot of your changes, you it is highly recommended that you write a particular message with it. So this message will be helpful when at a later stage in your project you want to find out that who wrote a particular piece of code, or why it was written, or what a particular piece of code does, or who wrote and when at what time he wrote. So all of this will be there in this commit, but for the information, this commit message is required. I'll tell you when we do hands-on. So yeah, so in the hands-on we will make a Facebook clone. So I hope everyone is with me till now, and we'll build a Facebook clone, and you will see how this add and commit and a few more commands that will be helpful. So first let me create a directory called Facebook clone. Then let's go inside it. So as you can see, it's empty at the time being. And let's make uh, uh, a functionality of sign in, or let's say sign up first. So now I'll show you two ways to write code. Means first is in the graphical user interface of Windows, you can simply open up this sign up file and you can add the sign up functionality. So this is the sign up functionality that I am implementing it now.
Excuse me.
Yes.
Yeah. Sorry to interrupt, but can you do something to lower the background noise? Background noise is
Acha, there's a lot of background noise. Oh, okay. Just give me a second.
yes, it's so much better now. Thanks.
I hope it's not that loud, but I cannot completely mute it because it's on the road. But anyways, so yeah, this sign up thing is done, and I'll save it. Uh, so it's done now, and let me create another functionality called login, and let me write something inside that, this time through the terminal. Yeah, so now it's done. Now I will tell you about a git command called git status. Now what git status does, it is similar as asking, hey git, what is going on in my FB clone. Now let's see what it says to this. What is this? It responds. So it says that there are some untracked files. These untracked files are basically this login and sign up, as they are just created, and I have not told Git that try monitor all the changes in these files. So that's why it says untracked files. And let's say now I want to add these files to my staging area, because I think that I have done a significant amount of work in sign up and login, and now I want to add them to the staging area. So the command for the same is git add login.txt. Means let me first add the login file. So yeah, this on some devices this warning comes, but it's not related to Git. It's something to do with Windows. You can just ignore it. It is not harmful at all. So yeah, the login file is added to my staging area. Now I'll just tell you about a shortcut, because in generally what happens is we change a lot of files, like this login, maybe some sign up, maybe some other functionalities. We change 4 to 5 files, and when you need to add them to the staging area, what you need to do is you need to write git add login.txt, then followed by a space, then signup.txt, then maybe some xyz.txt. So it becomes really large. So a shortcut for the same is git add dot. What it will do at my present stage is that this login.txt was already in the staging area, but the signup.txt wasn't. So it will add, for the timing there is only one file to add in the staging area, but it will do it. Yeah, so it is done. Now let me ask Git that, hey Git, what's going on? And the command for same is git status. So it tells me that for the time being, just ignore this on branch master. We will come to branching at a later part of the workshop. So it's not the part of on focus at the present moment. So it tells me that there are no commits yet, as clearly we didn't make a commit, but we added 2 files to our staging area. And it tells me that there are some changes that needs to be committed, and there is a new file called login.txt and a new file called signup.txt. As you can clearly see, I have made the 2 new files. So it tells me that they are in the staging area and they are yet to be committed. So let's commit them. So the command for the same is git commit -m, and a nice little message that tells what we have done and why this particular piece of code was written. Yeah, so as you can see, it says that after the commit has been done, that there were 2 files which were changed, and means basically these 2 files, and there were 2 insertions, as one line was inserted in login and one in sign up. And yeah, the commit is done basically. Now if I ask Git that, hey Git, what's going on after the commit has been done, it will tell me that there is nothing to commit, because because after the previous commit I have not made any changes. The previous commit was this, and after it I have not made any changes. So it will tell me that nothing to commit, everything is as same as it was previously, and the working tree is also clean. Yeah, so this is the process of basically adding files to the staging area and then committing them. So there is also one more command called git log. Now what it does is, uh, I hope you remember this from the slide that we showed you previously. It's similar, it's not exactly the same. That basically what git log does is it tells me that what all commits I have made till now. So since there is only one commit message, I can recognize that there is only one commit made till now. This is the hash of the commit. So in what Git does is that it gives me a uniquely identified hash for every commit that I make, and this hash will be useful. I'll show you after some 10 or 15 minutes how this is useful, but we don't need to go in details that how it is built or so. And it also tells me, as I told, that who wrote a particular piece of code. It tells me that I wrote a particular piece of code and this is my email address and the date and the time to do the same. And this is the commit message that I wrote for the particular commit. As you can see, this is the same message. So yeah, this is the process of adding files to the staging area and then committing them. So if it's not clear till now, means the process is not clear, let me do it again, but a little faster. So let's create a feature called share in our, let's write something in it so that you guys become familiar with the code. So okay, it's done. As you can see, you can share. Now I'll add it to my staging area, and the command for the same was, I hope you guys remember, git add shared.txt, but that's long, so I'll just type a dot and leave it. So, and if I type hey git, what's going on? It will tell me that there is a new file added to the staging area and it is yet to be committed. And now I'll commit it. That share functional share feature added. And now if I again ask it, it will tell me that everything is clean and nothing to commit, no changes made after the previous commit. And if I do git log, it tells me what all commits have been made till now. This is the most recent commit, which says share feature added, and this was the previously made commit. Okay, so this is the workflow in hands-on of workflow. So till now, if you have any doubts, please ask.
Yes, like how to add to file to the staging area. Can you just repeat once?
Yeah, so let's say okay, for this time let me update a file. I was creating a new file. Let me update a file. So if I again ask it, hey Git, what's going on? It will tell me that I have modified this signup.txt. As you can see here, the signup.txt is modified. And to add it to my staging area, the command was git add, and then if you want to specify a particular file, means by name, so the command was git add signup.txt and it will add to my staging area. But if I don't want to remember what all files I changed, or maybe I don't want to type it manually, the command was git add dot, uh, means git add dot, and it will add it to the staging area. So once I press enter, as you can see now, if I ask it that what's going on, that there is a file in the staging area. So I hope it's clear. Any more doubts?
Why do we need to add to the staging area? Like, why can't we directly commit it?
Yes, this is a very good question. So uh, just a second. Yeah, so imagine a situation when you were there in the same store, and uh, and you purchased a few items, and they are in the staging area and they are not yet committed. Now imagine that there was no staging area and you directly committed those items, and now you find that that you included an item in the cart that is not required and you want to remove it. But if there was no staging area, then you would have already purchased it, and then to go back to that particular stage when you purchased it, you will have to remove all the uh, purchases that you have made after it. So the basically this cart is helpful, because if I find that okay, there is a file in the staging area, this is which is a cart, there is an item in the cart, or there is a file in the staging area which I need to change, I need to modify its code, or I need to replace the item from the cart. So since it is in the cart and it is not yet committed or not yet purchased, you can go and easily do it from the staging area, or from the cart you can go to the store and replace it. But if it was purchased, then the owners of the shop won't allow you to basically replace it, right? Means the process is difficult. So, and similarly, if it is committed, now what happens in Git is that if you want to go back to a particular commit, all the changes that you have made after that commit, they get deleted. There is some concept of rebase and all, that is advanced Git concepts, but understand why the staging area is important. So once you find that you have added a file to the staging area and you want to replace it or maybe edit it once again, you can easily do it before it has been committed. One more use of staging area, or one more way to think of it, is that let's say I am working 9 to 5 and I have added this login feature in Facebook, but I'm not yet committing it because this is not my today's work. My today's work will be adding the sign up feature and the login feature. So I created the sign up feature and I added to the staging area. Then I go for lunch break, and then I come back, and then I do make the login feature. But how this staging area helped me is it added, means I had to manually add the signup.txt to the staging area, and it stored my that particular day's work there with it, and I don't have to remember it at the time of committing it. It is there in the staging area. It is basically a store where all my changes are there when I add them, and I don't need to remember them. That I had made these particular changes, and I need to commit them. So I hope it's helpful. Like, I hope to understand it's clear why this staging area is required.
So, like once the commit is made, we cannot change it.
No, you can change it. You can go back to a previously made commit. But what happens in the process is that let's say I made 3 to 4 commits and I want to go 2 commits back. So the one commit that comes in between means I want to go 2 commits back, right? So there will be a one commit in between that will get removed. There is also a way, there is some advanced concept of Git rebase through which you can particularly go to a particular commit and the commits in between won't change and you can edit those, but that is advanced concept and that is not a part of this workshop. But that is also a very cumbersome process, means to go to a particular commit and do it. So it is better
Also,
that you do it once in the staging area.
just one thing, more thing I want to add. Like once you've made a commit, it is generally good to not edit that commit anymore because it can create problems later.
Okay, okay. Thank you.
Any more doubts at this point, or should I continue?
Yeah, I had one doubt.
Say.
Uh, so whatever we changes are doing in this terminal, they in the if you go to the if you go to the file manager and try to go to a directory where we are working, everything is
Hmm.
changing over there, right? So if we add a file, then a file we see there is a file being added over there.
Hmm.
So if
Yes.
we change it, if we open a text and change it, that we have to go to Git and then say add and commit the same thing.
Yes. 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 Add and commit won't happen manually. That is, you
Okay,
have to do it. But there are
okay.
two ways
So
to change a file.
just one more
Yes.
question. So if I suppose I went and deleted over there and I closed Git, so it would nothing will happen, right?
Can you please repeat?
Okay, so I created a text file and without saving I deleted it. So it will not. If I open it again, then the file will still be there.
No, but you deleted it. How will you open it again?
Okay, so it gets deleted.
It means if you
Yeah,
deleted it, it's
that's what I'm asking. Thank you.
ah. So if there are no more doubts, I'll continue. Yeah. So now this staging area and add-in commit is clear. So now I will uh, address another problem that is of my evil cat. So I have a cat with me, and whenever I am not on my system, it comes and adds code to my it adds garbage code to my code base. So let's take a case one where my working tree was clean, which means I didn't make any commit or any changes in my code. And the cat comes up and it adds rubbish file and garbage content. And then I come back and I ask Git, hey Git, what's going on by the Git status? And it tells me something that there are some files which are changed, but I didn't change them. So how can I ask Git that I didn't change them? I want to go back to the part where the files were not modified yet. So again, Git will help us in that very easily. So let's say I'm not at my desktop and the cat comes up and it adds something. It adds something. Okay. And in not only one file, it adds it in many, 2, 3 files. Now, now I came and it ran away. Now I ask it what is going on. And it tells me that there are two files, nameshared.txt and signup.txt, that are modified. But I didn't modify them and I want to revert the changes. I don't want my files to contain this garbage content. So how Git will help me is there is a command called git out dot. What this command does is that since the files are not yet added to the staging area, they were just changed, and as you can see they are not staged for commit, means they are not yet added to the staging area but they are changed and I want to revert those changes. So what git checkout dot does is that it reverts those changes. It takes me to the previous commit, means it takes me to the stage where things were not changed. Basically now if I open the signup.txt, there is no garbage content which was here. Similarly, in this share.txt, there is no garbage content. And Git reverted all the changes with just a simple command of git checkout dot. So this is how Git is really helpful in reverting the changes that are made. Now, what happens now is that my cat knows that I know a way that I can revert the changes that are not yet added to the staging area. So this time the cat comes up and it adds those changes to the staging area. It runs this command called git add dot, and it adds those changes to this staging area. And now I come and I find that there are some things which are changed. So how I can revert them? So again the cat came and put up and it add garbage comment, garbage in many files. Say. And then the cat did git add dot. So then I showed up and it ran away. Now I see that what is the status. See that there are three files which have been modified: login, share, and sign up, and they are added to the staging area. But I know that I didn't add them, and when I open them, I clearly see there is some garbage content. So I need to revert these changes from the staging area itself. So the command for the same is git minus minus hard. There is no space between this minus and this hard. Okay. and head. Once I do it, all the changes that were there in the staging area will be reverted back. Yes. And now if I open the share.txt, this time the terminal, and see there is, you can share. There is no garbage after it. And all the changes that were made after the files that were added, and after it the files were added to the staging area, they are reverted back. There is no, again, no garbage content here. And this is how Git helps me to take me back to a particular stage where there were no changes made. And in real life, you can relate. Let's say you wrote a particular piece of code, and then you find that it is not useful and you want to go back. So what you would have done, in if no Git was there, that you would have opened every file and then check where you have changed it and what particular changes you have made. Maybe you redefined something and then you want to and go back. So you would have to do it manually and it will be cumbersome. Instead, Git does it with a simple command called git checkout dot, or maybe if they are added to the staging area, git reset minus minus hard head. So it is really helpful. Now my cat again knows that I know a way to revert the changes through the staging area. Now this time it shows up and it adds the wish code, and it makes not one but two commits. And then I show up and then I find that something is changed. So how will I go back? So again, let me add some garbage. Yeah. So now what the cat does is that not only it adds all the files to the staging area, it also commits those changes. Okay. Now again it shows up and it makes one more change and it commits once more. So adds the files, it does the same once again. Now I come and I see that, okay, what is going on in my files, and I see, oh, there is some garbage content. So I do git status, like where the content actually is. Is it in the staging area or it is yet to be committed? It is yet to be added to the staging area. So I see that there is nothing to commit and the working tree is clean, which means that the cat not only added the files to the staging area, but it also committed it. And that's why my working tree is clean. There is nothing that I changed after the previous commit, which was done by the cat. So if you remember, there was a command called git log, which listed all the commits that I have done. So as you can see, this commit was done by me. This commit was done by me, but this and this commit were done by the cat. And now I want to go back uh, to the stage where all the commits were only done by me and there was no garbage content. Means I want to revert these two commits. So now once I go to this particular commit from the stage where I am recently, this commit will also be deleted. So I hope you keep in mind this. So the command to go to this particular commit where all the things were written by me and there was nothing garbage written by the cat is git minus minus hard. And if you remember, I told you that this hash will be useful at a particular time. So through this hash, you can uniquely identify which particular commit you want to go to. And then I copy this hash. Okay, copy, and I paste it here. So this is the same hash of the commit that I want to go to. which is done by me. And now if I press enter, yeah. So if I open the files now, let's say I open to the terminal this time. See, you can share. All the changes that were done by the cat are reverted. And you can also see here there is nothing rubbish, there is nothing garbage written in the code, and everything is fine. So this is how Git is again really useful, that uh, you can revert all the changes that you have made with just a little command. Instead, in the real life, you would have to means again go to the code, and as you can see, I had written something in between here. So you would have to manually look it up that what is done, what is done, and you would have to revert it. Instead, Git does it with a simple command of this. So I hope it's clear now. And don't you get this feeling of Thanos, like you just reverted time, reverted the code base, and you went to the previous commit. Yeah, so any doubts now?
I have
Could you
doubts.
show the log? Yeah, okay.
Like after doing git.log, my all the commits came, but in the end it was written end, and I can't type something else after
Ha
that.
ha. You just type Q and it will exit. Just try it. Just type Q.
Okay.
Done. And once one of you were asking log, so this is the log. The comments are themselves deleted. Any more doubts? Okay, I consider that as a no. And
Can you
now I will.
I have a doubt. So here we actually wrote cat modified it twice, but generally a cat will not prefer to tell me through by committing that they did it. So how do we identify it's not us?
Means you mean to say that the cat added a useful feature? Means the
No,
message was
no.
something useful.
I'm saying that the cat will
I.
not, yeah, the cat will not write an apt commit. It will attempt to fool us, right? By simply looking at the commit, we will not be able to understand whether it's a cat or not.
No, means in that process you can do anything. Na, you need to go. You to need means you need to go through commits to commits. Means if this was if means if this was these two were added by the cat, let's say. So and there was nothing written like this. There was some useful thing written, but you know it wasn't written by you, or any ways you want to go back. So you then need to write, you need to revert this commit, then open the files and see that was this the thing you wanted to get. If not yet, then you revert this commit and then you do this. So that's the process then. You would have to do it anyway, right?
can you explain the last part again, like how you deleted that last two commits with the cat man?
Okay. So this time I will make a single commit instead of two. The process is same basically. I added a garbage to this login.txt. Then I added all the changes to my staging area. Then I committed them, and this time with a feature that the message that login feature include. Okay. And now if I do git log, that this is the most recent commit. Now the cat ran away and I showed up and I see that what is in this login. So I see that there is a garbage. And although I see that there is a important thing written, but I remember that I didn't wrote it and this is something I want to revert. So the command for the same was git reset minus minus hard and then the hash of the commit that you want to go back to. Means not of this commit, which is made by the cat, but of that commit that you want to go back to. So this is the stage where I want to go back to, and I want to revert all the things that were done after it. So I copy its hash and I paste here. I copied something else. It doesn't matter. I'll write it again. Git reset minus minus hard. Okay, the log is even gone. So let me write git log again. It's the thing, this git bash that you copy paste. Anyways, it's not related to git. I copy this. I paste it here. Then I hit enter. And now this login is still means I need to refresh this. So if I close it and if I open it again, there is no garbage written here. And this is how I revert commits through their hash codes. And I hope it's clear now.
Hello.
Hmm? Yes.
Like if the cat writes some garbage code, and we don't, um, and we started working something else, and then we realized that something wrong has happened, and we want to delete a particular commit. Then how can we do it?
No, you cannot delete a commit from between. Means there is a high level means advanced concept of git rebase, which means you go to a particular commit, you divide it in segments, which is not a part of this workshop. It is an advanced concept, but anyways means you would have to do it manually. Just go to that particular commit and after removing the garbage, and then write it again.
Hello.
Okay.
So basically no cat would show up in your case, right? It's just that you yourself have written a garbage code and you realize that this is useless and you want to revert it, but you had committed it. So means that's why I'm explaining this thing. uh,
Hello.
uh,
If we reset some commit by mistake, so like can we undo that process? Like by mistake, I jumped to the commit, login and sign up edit,
hmm,
but
no,
that was a mistake. Like uh,
no,
so, can I get the share feature edit back? Like
no. Once you are here, all the data that was stored after this will be deleted. You cannot do it. You need to be careful which commit you are going back to. Are there any more doubts? I'll take that as a no, and I will request Aditya to continue the workshop.
Hello everyone. I hope till now, like, you could catch up with the workshop. Uh, so one thing I noticed while I was seeing the chats, that screen is lagging for all of you. Like, if it's lagging while I am presenting, if it's lagging, like, you can interrupt me in between. I'll slow down. Like, I'll not go that fast so that it can load for you. Okay. So now, to start, we have all seen like Git basics, like how to make commits, how to add it to staging area, and like how to revert or adds and commits. So now we should talk something about something which is called branching and merging. So to explain what is branching, I'll explain it with the example from Silicon Valley series. uh, Suppose there are group of four friends or two friends, like and they like want to collaborate on a project. from initially, like from the starting of the workshop, one of our goals was to collaborate with our friends and make projects. So suppose they want to make project, what a traditional method or conventional method would be to like keep a original code base and like share a copy of code base in each of these four friends device, and like they all have the copy of code base, and like this is an example, they can be multiple people sharing a code base on their machine. Now they like do their changes, they do their commits, they make their part of the code, like, and they decide that they'll overwrite it on the original code base. But what if the changes are conflicting? Still it would get overwritten because we are doing it manually. So what happens is that it creates chaos, and we want to avoid chaos. And like you can like just imagine that if this process is done on an organization level of about more than 100 people sharing same code base, doing same thing on a project, this would be such a hectic process. So here where branching comes into place, and I'll explain that. Yeah, let me go to the next slide. So everything that we have done till now after Linux commands that Utsav has taught you, that was done on a single branch. Single branch, like it was along a single path called master, default branch. Now, suppose you want to experiment with the code base. Okay, like you want to experiment with the code base, or someone else says that let me continue your code base, and you said that okay, I'll let you write on my code base, but I don't want you to like merge it with me. Like I don't want your code base to be the final version of this project. So what you do is that you grow a branch and you like ask him to work on this branch. Now, what happens is on a branch is that all the files created till now, like let's uh, come to this. Like suppose there's one file here created and you created a branch. So all the files like you have created up till this branching will get cloned in this branch. Like when you switch from master default branch to the this little feature branch, what will happen is that it will contain all the files that were in the master up till this branch is created, and now you can add on more files, and like you can edit files and anything that like such on this little feature branch. So you can create multiple branch here. There are two branches, like one is little feature, one is big feature. This is an example. So now how does it happen? I'll explain with a Venn diagram. Like suppose as I use since I was carrying on with the book example, I'll carry on here with the book example. Like I made my book folder, I added first chapter here and committed it. Okay, then like I added second chapter, then I added third chapter. Okay, now like my friend says that let me help you in writing your book. uh, I want to help you too. So I told okay, I'll give you a branch, I'll extend a like I grow a branch, I create a branch, and what he does is that he says that okay, now he'll work on this extended branch and he'll continue doing his work. Now I'll review his work or his experimental work, and I'll see that whether his work is merging with my branch, worth merging with my branch or not. If worth, it's worth merging, like I can merge it into my master branch. That is the default branch, and like all our commits are in same line because I liked his work. But if I don't like it, I can like explicitly delete that branch. Okay, so now it's a hands-on. Like you can, since you were doing it in the Facebook clone, Utsav was teaching you, so you can add a poke feature there. I'll continue with my book example. I hope it's fine for you. And wait, let me. Sorry, I didn't ask again. Was my screen lagging? Was it fine?
No, it was fine. It is not
It was
like
Okay. Okay. Cool. So yeah, so now I'll do a hands-on. Like while Utsav was explaining, I prepared like I had this book I made this book when I was explaining Linux commands. I went to this book directly. I created chapter 1. I wrote chapter 1 started echo. Then I initialized the Git repository. Then I added all the files to staging area. Then I made a commit. Chapter 1 started. Okay. Now I see in GitLog, I have this. Okay. Now, hello. I made some wrong changes to the file, so I checked it out. Like this was for me, and this I made a mistake here. I should not have written Git. It's only echo. So then I like appended something in the file to be continued, and now my friend asked me for the file, like he wants to commit to my project. So now what I should be like to be 1 second. Yeah. So he said that to be continued. So like it is appended to the project. So firstly, I should like add this to the staging area. Okay. Now this bonding is for my editor. It doesn't have like it has no relation to like this git commands. Okay. Now this is git add. Now I have to like commit this. So I'll commit. I'll do start branching. Okay, so that give it to him. Now, firstly, like all of you have noticed it up till now that there's a master. I was seeing between the slides that by default we work on the master branch. So currently we are on the master branch. See, master is written here. So to check like how many branches we have, we can do a command simple git branch. We have a master branch and it is highlighted green because it's the current branch on which we are. Now I create branches, like I create
but
two.
not all 60,000 thoughts transform into reality. Only one or two thoughts we are.
Hello. Okay, I hope it was by mistake, no problem. I'll do git branch, I'll create a branch. If it's lag, like if my screen's lag, you can interrupt me in between. Git branch. Then I'll create a branch. Let me name it experimental branch 1. Okay, I created a branch. Let me create one more branch. I want to show you something at the end, like some trivial thing. So it could help. And also, like while explaining the commands, I didn't explain you this. If you press your arrow key, you get your last entered command, and like likewise, you can go up down from here. So I do experimental 2. Okay, so now I create 2 branches. So let's see how many branches are there. I have 3 branches. Now I go to experimental branch 1. Okay, so I go to experimental branch. To go to experimental branch 1, I have to do git checkout 1. Now I'm in experimental branch 1. You can see here also it changed, right? Now what happens is that I was in chapter 1. Okay, I wrote to be continued. Okay, so I write echo and I write this is my story now. Okay, so I do it by like do it in the chapter 1 .txt and yeah, I want to append it in the chapter file. I don't want to overwrite it. This command will like overwrite it. So to append, I do double arrows and I do this and like to check, like to keep these files, notepad doesn't reload on its own, so like we have to manually do it. Chapter 1 started, to be continued. This is my story now. See this now the staging area part will be more clear to you. See, now I've done this. Okay, now see, like let's see also to make it more clear, let me create one more file. Touch, I'll create chapter chapter1.2.txt. Okay, so let me see what files are there in experimental branch 1. I'll do ls. What files are there? chapter1.txt, chapter2.txt. Okay, but I told that it will clone from the master branch, so chapter1.txt is there. But let me check like what files are there in my master branch. So to do that, first I have to go to the master branch. So going here would be like git checkout. I'll go to the master branch. So see, I came to the master branch and like let me check what files are here. I have chapter1.txt, chapter2.txt, but I have them both. But I wanted that since he is doing the work, so it should be on his branch. Why is it not there? Because I didn't add it to the cart, like I didn't add it to the staging area, and I didn't commit it there. It there in the experimental one branch. So, like suppose you do now git status modified chapter1.txt, chapter2.txt. Our machine doesn't know that this change is on branch main branch or master branch unless we add it in the cart and then commit it. Okay, so I again go to the experimental one branch. Okay, xp1. Okay, I switched to xp1 branch. Now I'll add the files because my friend was doing it. So I'll add it here. Git add it. Now git, I'll commit it. Then I'll do this are these friend. I have created a commit. Now let's check what let's check git log for this repository. Okay, now we have see here we have like 3 commits. First one is chapter1 started branching, which I did in front of you. Okay, now I made and see like here it is written master comma experimental branch 2. Okay, right now I moved to the experimental branch 1 and like I added my files and folder in the experimental branch 1. I have done nothing in experimental branch 2. Here it is coming experimental branch 2 because the files are cloned there, I told while creating the branch. Okay, so this head is in experimental 1 branch. It means that Adi's friend commit is in experimental 1 branch. Okay, so it is here. We can see that it's here. Now I review his work. Suppose that I like his work. So I'd like to merge his branch with me. So what I'll do is that git merge. I'll write his branch name exp1. We'll do it. Okay. Sorry. First we have to go in the master branch. Where do I merge it? I have to merge it in the master branch, right? So we'll go to master. Okay, now I'll do git merge exp1. I've merged it in experimental 1 branch. I like my friend's work, so I merged it in my branch. Now my other friend is lazy. I don't want his branch to like appear in my repository. So I'll remove his branch. So I'll do git branch. I'll do dash. Now his branch is not merged with me. So I have to do small d and then I'll do what was his branch name? exp2. Deleted branch experimental 2. Now I don't want his branch. I'll do I've deleted his branch. He's not doing any work. He's lazy. So let me check how many branches now I have. Branches experimental 1 master, but I've like my friend did his work. He collaborated with me. I merged his branch. Why should I keep his branch? So I'll again delete his file, but see the difference here. Now since it is merged in my branch, I have to do capital D here. delete his branch. Now his branch is unnecessary. Like I don't want his branch. I merged his branch. Now it's my project. I'm selfish. Okay. So I'll do this. Sorry, experimental 2 again I did. Experimental 1 was this branch, right? So deleted branch 1. Experimental 1. So now if I check what are the branches, master branch only. So my work is intact. I am the owner of my work. So like this is done. And I think if my screen would have not lagged, then it might be clear to you. But if you have any doubt, ask me. I'll explain it again.
Hello.
Hello.
So this friend thing, I got the concept, but it will work only when the two people are using two different devices. Like my friend will be working on his own device, and I will be
Yeah,
working.
so working from two different devices and all that, that will come in the GitHub part. So my friend Soham will continue to that. For that, I am like explaining you, like if we are both working in the like same machine on this machine, this is done locally.
Okay.
Hello, sorry, I was not able to follow because I
Yeah,
was
yeah, no
also
problem.
trying my by my own.
Yeah,
Can you
so
summarize again?
yeah, I'll summarize.
Yes.
Uh, Actually, my headphone went off, so like I'm hearing less voice from you. So, okay, no way. Yeah, so let me start from the beginning. Okay, I I made the directory. I went to the directory. I wrote chapter 1 started. Then I like made it a GitHub repository, Git repository. Then I did Git in it. Then I added the files to the staging area. Then I committed by files. Now this is like just checking out things, and like now my friend is messaging me to like collaborate with me. So I did okay, echo to be continued. I appended it in the file double. I did this time double angular brackets because I want to append it. Okay, so now I added it to the staging area. I again committed it. Now, as I did, if you listen to my explanation to how branching and merging works, then you would know that okay, I'll repeat it again. That when you like branch, create branches, it will clone all the files and work of like master branch, that is the default branch initially. So what happened is that now I committed it and I handled my machine to him, and I like first I checked how many branches are there. So there's only one branch, master branch. So I created a branch for him to test, and it was get branch experimental 1. My other friend told that he wants a branch too, so I gave him a branch to work on, get branch experimental 2. Now I check how many branches do I have. I have 3 branches, experimental 1, experimental 2, and master. And this green highlighted thing means that it currently is on the master branch. Now I want to go to the experimental one branch. See, here it is written master. That means that currently we are working on the master branch. Okay. So I went to the experimental one branch. I did git checkout experimental one. I went to the experimental one branch. Then my friend wrote echo, he did the echo command. He did. This is my story now. He appended it in my chapter 1, and then he like created a chapter 2 for all 2. Then I did. Then like I was making the point clear that since I have not added this file to the repository or committed this file to the repository, it currently will appear in both the branches. See, we did ls chapter 1.txt, chapter 2.txt, git checkout master, switch to branch master, chapter 1.txt. Okay. Yeah, so I went to the master branch and checked ls. It also showed here. Now when I did status. Git, what's the status in this master branch? It showed me that you have modified chapter1.txt and you have created a chapter2.txt, but you have not committed this. But I don't want to commit this or add this to my master branch. So I went back to my experimental one branch where I want to add it and commit it. I added it, git add dot. Then I committed it by git commit m. This is Adi's, I wrote a message. This is Adi's friend's commit, and now I did a git log to check what were there. Then I explained to you that these two commits I did it in the main branch, and here see it's written experimental 2. Why? Because I told that it will clone all the commits and files of main branch, master branch, into its own branch, like experimental 2 branch. But now when we have made changes in the experimental 1 branch, so it doesn't appear here. The change, the first commit we made here was in experimental 1 branch, so it came just in experimental 1 branch. Okay. If this part is not clear, this particular part, you can ask me again, like it might sound confusing to you.
If you are yes, can you go like when you made changes in experiment 1 branch?
Yeah, once. Hello?
Like you have made changes in experiment 1 branch and then in experiment 2 branch. So when you committed the changes in respective branches, it is does it showing in a master branch also?
No, that's what I am saying. That yeah, I'm explaining that. See, I have made change. I've not touched experimental 2 branch also. I just made experimental 2 branch to explain you like you can create multiple branches. I just made a change in experimental 1 branch. See, here what I did when I did commit. This is Adi's friend's commit. It was an experimental 1 branch. Okay. Now see this thing here, it displays that where this commit is in, like which branch. Here it is in experimental 1 branch. What is this head? This is a pointer that where currently your git terminal, git bash terminal is. It's in experimental 1 branch, right? So it's in head experimental 1 branch. Okay, head points to experimental 1 branch. And before that, all the commits I made were in master branch, but it was cloned to experimental 2 and experimental 1 branch also. But since we made changes to the experimental 1 branch, it didn't came here also, right? Am I clear?
In the
Yes.
chat or in
Okay, cool.
I have a doubt.
Yeah.
Out in another part, can you scroll a little up in the terminal? One part I had a doubt.
Yeah, sure.
But they here we checked out on Git status on master branch, but there ch2.txt means how did it come? Like it was only added in experiment 1 branch.
Yeah, that's what I was telling at that time while explaining. I might have gone a bit fast there, but I'll explain it right now. So there what I did was that I just made the, see, here what I did was that I touched ch2.txt. I have not committed it or added it to the staging area. You understand my point? Currently, it's just an untracked change. Like Git is not connected to like internet that it will automatically track your files. You have to give a command that Git, come on, track my files, man. So it will do like that.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's why I changed my branch to master, and then I showed you in Git status it's coming here too, but I don't want it here. So what I have to do, I have to add and commit it. See, I went to experimental 1 branch, I added it, and then I committed it. Right?
That means don't add or committed, then as untracked file it will show.
Yeah. Untracked file is in both. Like untracked file is nowhere actually. Untracked file is like everywhere. Like unless you make a commit, the file is not finalized. Where should it go?
Yeah. So experiment 1 changes are visible in the master branch also. That means experiment.
No, now see if I would have not like let me wait. Just follow along with me, okay? See, I create again an experimental branch, git branch exp1. Okay. Now I move to git branch experimental one branch. Okay. Now I do touch chapter, right? Chapter 3 .txt. Okay, I created a chapter 3 branch. Okay, now it's not added or committed. I have to add or commit it to track it, right? So I do git add dot. Okay, then I do git commit message testing once again. Okay, I've committed it, right? Now let me go to the master back. Master branch back. Git checkout master, right? And here I'll do ls. Chapter 1.txt, chapter 2.txt. We don't have chapter 3.txt. Why? Because now I have committed it to experimental one branch, right? Okay.
But if we check the status once, git status, can you do once at this point in master? Okay, so chapter 3. Okay, that one, that time it was not added or committed, so it was showing that newly added.
Yeah, that it was not added or committed. That's why it was showing. See,
Yeah.
I am on master branch. That's why when I'm even opening this folder, it's coming only chapter 1 and chapter 2. Chapter 3 you can't see. Like, let me go to checkout first. Let me go to experimental one now. Why is it not coming? Get checkout experimental one. Okay, now let me open it. See, you have 3 chapters here.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
hope like this would make it more clear. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. Now it's fine. It's fine.
Yeah.
Hello.
So,
like if adding and committing makes it different for like experiment one and master branch. Like if I do something in experiment one and add and commit it, so it will not appear until I merge it in the master branch.
Yeah, correct.
So like what was the concept of single arrow and double arrow while echoing the
Echo. One was for overwriting. If I did single arrow there, it would have overwritten. Like it would have started from the first, like the starting of the line. But if I do double arrow, it will append to it. Append means like adding to the file. It will add to the file the changes. Add to
so
the file. See, like where is the chapter 1 started to be continued. If I would have done like single arrow, then to be continued would have come here instead of chapter 1 started, and chapter 1 started would have been erased.
okay, I got it.
Yeah, so I think I asked here for your review. Now, yeah, so merging part is like not so difficult. I've merged the experimental one branch, but I was in experimental one branch only. So where should I merge it if I'm in experimental one branch? So I checked out to master branch. Then I merged experiment one. It like merged experiment one into master branch, right? And then my other friend was lazy, so I had to delete his branch. I created an experimental 2 branch from him, so I deleted it. Here see I did a small d, like dash small d. Now I see I have 2 branches. Now I've seen that my friend has done his work. I'm selfish. I don't want to like uh, uh, the world to know that I have his branch or I took contribution from him. So what I did was that I deleted his branch. I did git branch capital D I have to do. The branches which are merged into master branch, you have to do capital D for them. Experiment 2. Okay, but experiment 2, experiment 2 was not merged. Experiment 1 was the branch. So I had to do it again, and it deleted the branch. Experiment 1. Again, I did git branch. It was in master branch. 340. Okay, master branch. Right. I think now it would have been clear. I completed here. Then I repeated the process. Do you still have any doubts?
You said that after merging we had to use capital D, but I used the small d command and it got deleted.
Did you merge it?
Yeah, I had merged it.
Probably I don't know. Like I did it in my machine just this morning. It happened that it wouldn't delete. See, I've git checkout experimental 1 branch. I'll merge it. Git merge. Okay, let me go. Okay, then I'll do git merge exp1. Right, I merged it, and I'll do git branch d. No, wait, what you said that? What you did?
I used like small d in
Okay.
like instead of capital.
Okay. Yeah, so it's getting deleted. Yeah, you can use both. But I think if the branch is not merged, it's not true for reverse then, I think. The branch is not merged, then you have to use capital D.
Okay.
I noted down all the commands, but there is one problem while making branches in my GitHub. Like it is like I typed the command git branch experiment 1, and it is showing a petal, not a valid object named master. How to proceed with that?
What did you do? You created a
Like we had the book repository, so I want to make one experiment branch. So
yeah.
I typed the command git branch experiment 1 exp1, but it is showing not a valid object name, now semicolon masters.
Okay, and like you did get in it, right?
Yes, yeah, I will
Yeah,
post that.
can you post a screenshot and chat? If you are aware of someone is aware of this, he will report you in the chat or will find you something.
Okay.
I have one
I'm facing
question.
the same problem.
All of you?
I'm facing the same problem.
Like the guy, is anyone like able to create branch? Like
Yeah,
someone told
yeah,
she
yeah. We
deleted
can.
them.
We are
Yeah?
able to.
Yes, I
Yeah,
was
I
able
was
to
able
create.
to do it.
I
Yeah,
I
was
even
able
I
posted
was
the
Same
able
thing
to.
for
screenshot.
me too. Like, can you post a screenshot in chat? You sent.
Yes.
They'll look in the chat and they'll let you know. And if you're not done, we'll stay after the workshop too. Now it's getting late. Since many of you might have lost attention between so much, I think we should have a quiz now, like fun quiz.
One short question I have, may I ask?
Yeah, sure. Questions you can ask. Error, someone will report you in the chat and will help you.
I want to ask that if we delete that experiment one branch, so will it get deleted from master branch as well?
Yeah, I deleted the branch from master branch, right? When I merged it, after that I deleted. The second time also, when someone asked that she's able to do it with small d, then I told that okay, I'll do it again. When I did it, it was merged only. See, merge experiment 1. Then I did. It worked.
Okay.
So, like after we create the branch and merge them, so the dynamics of going to a previous commit might change. Like,
Okay, so let me do git status here. Okay, git log, right?
here, this is now everything is in master branch. The hashes are same. Everything is same. Only thing is that now there is no additional branch other than default master branch.
Okay.
Right?
Branch.
Hello, it is impossible to delete master branch, right?
Yeah, it's yeah. Actually, if you delete master branch, then it would work. I think it would show some error. Do you want me to try that?
I
But
tried it, it said, you're
yeah,
stupid or
of course,
something.
like master branch is when you do Git in it, the master branch is default branch. If you want to like replace master branch, you can't do that. Like if you want to like make your own branch and delete the master branch, you can't do that. Master branch is reference for all other branches. You need a reference, right?
Yes, yes,
Uh,
yes, correct, correct.
well, I figured out why I was not able to create a branch. I
Acha,
have not I have not added and committed the files in it. So first I add
okay,
the ch1 and ch2 then.
okay, yeah. You can like post this in chat also for people who are not able to do now also. Uh,
Okay.
they'll like get help from you. Also, guys, since it might get overtime, so you can post the things in chat. I'll reply them myself, and my team will also help me. Other than that, we should have like a fun quiz to like regain some people who couldn't focus for like who can't focus for so long. So let me share you a fun quiz link. Just give me 1 minute, okay? Right? Hello, guys. Like now you can come to that link. Matlab, you can join. People who have joined the link, can you please like raise your hands?
Is it saying that this quiz
Sir, I can't
open?
access the chat
Yeah, I'm
box.
starting. I like started from the between. My fault. Sorry.
Sir, I can't access the chat box for you.
You can't access the chat box.
Yes, sir. Me too.
Yes, sir. I joined
Um,
using a link.
Aditya, can you share
Yes,
your
sir.
screen? I guess they can join from the code. Also, guys, don't call us sir. We are actually just your seniors. You can call us by our names.
Okay.
It is showing question 1 of 3, but any no question is being displayed right now.
Yeah, just wait a while. He's waiting for everyone to join, and then the questions will be added. I mean, the quiz will be started then.
I hope like you have joined that. I'll start.
Just wait 2 more minutes. Like, if anyone cannot see the link, go to menti.com and use that code to join.
Okay.
Also, guys, you can now lower your hands in the team.
Could you please repeat the code?
Aditya, can you please screenshot that?
Yeah, I will. 1 second.
Yeah, thank you.
I hope now most of you.
Congratulations, Adi. Wait, is that Aditya Ranjan? Did you join with your own name?
No, it's me, Aditya Rai.
Oh, congrats.
Thank you.
Hope like you enjoyed like it, and now since between my session also many of you asked that how can we collaborate to people if we are working on the same machine, how can we collaborate on different machines. So to like explain that, Soham Sen will continue now.
So I hope my screen is visible now. Okay, so my teammates first explained how Git is helpful and all the useful features of Git. Now let's talk a bit about GitHub. So you know the repositories that you created in the previous examples, they were only on your own machine. Of course, you could have created branches and experimented with the code, but others could not see your code. So let's take the example of something like Google Docs. You know how you can share the link of some Google Docs with others and they can either read the file. Is my screen not visible?
It is visible.
Yeah, yeah,
It's
yeah. So you know how like with Google Docs we can read someone else's file or even review or make some changes. Similarly, there is a platform for doing this with Git and it is called GitHub. So on GitHub we can do multiple features. We can point out bugs, like create issues for bugs. One second. Okay, like this is the repository for this project, like this workshop. We have added the slides and stuff. So there are multiple things, like this is the issues tab where people can submit bugs. Like if there is a bug in the program, people can submit it or like ask for new features to be added. Also, there are things like called pull requests where people can add new pull requests if they want to, like fixing a bugs or adding this. I see some guy has already added a pull request. Like, thank you for that. So next up, before we get into how to do this, let's talk about GitHub authentication. Actually, you cannot push code to GitHub without logging in to on your own PC. And for that, you need to create a personal authentication token. To do that, just go to your settings and then below you will see developer settings. In that, click on personal access token and then click on generate a new token. You will be prompted to enter your password, which you shall do, and then you can add any kind of node. It doesn't really matter. I'm adding Git workshop here. And you can set an expiration like when the token will expire. After the token has expired, you won't be able to use it again. You can set it on no expiration if you want. I'm just setting it on 7 days. And be sure to click this checkbox, the repo checkbox, then generate a token. Now save this token. It will be useful. It is the password for creating a repository. I'm deleting my token so you guys cannot hack my GitHub actually. Okay, so that's it. And remember to save this token. It will be useful later. Okay, now let's see how push and pull works on Git. So I created some project. I created this thing. It's basically Google, but better. Let me show you how it looks like. This is the project I created. Okay. So now I want to push this code on GitHub so others can also contribute to this code or look at that code. So let me show you how to do that. First of all, I will init a repository here since I have not made the repository yet. So I made the repository and I'll add the two files, readme and index. Now I will commit the files like initial commit. I forgot to add this. You can add your user email and username. So your user email should be the email that you use to sign up with Git. So I will just set my user email and username. So now I'll commit it. Now before I can push it, I will have to create a new repository on GitHub. So just click on this plus icon here and click on new repository. Now you can add any repository name that you like. I'm just going to add Better Google. The description is optional and if you want you can add it or you can skip it. Now there is the option of public repositories and private repositories. In short, public repositories are the repositories that are available on the internet and basically anyone can see your code if they have the link. It's like Google Docs viewer only mode. So if they have the link, they can see your code. But in private, even if they have the link to a repository, they won't be able to access it. So that's how it works. So for now, I'm just going to do a public repository. One sec. Yeah. So this is optional. You don't really have to do it. If you're making a new repository, you can already add a README file or a license or a getting node. I'm not doing it since I already have those files. So now I will create a repository and here it is made. Now what I will do is, what you guys can do is click on this HTTPS button. Okay. Now this URL will be visible. You click on this copy and it will be copied to your clipboard. Now open back the terminal and we have already created a commit. So let's push it. So what I will do is I'll write git push and then paste the URL. Okay, so after that I'll have to write the name of the branch. The branch name is master mentioned here. You can also see the name of the branch via git status. Yeah, on branch master. So I'll push it and here if you use this HTTPS method, you will be asked for your GitHub username and that personal access token that you had created earlier. So since I cannot I cannot copy paste my token without revealing it to others and which might result in my account getting hacked, I will just use this SSH mode. You guys don't have to use it right now. It's actually more secure than HTTPS, but it is a bit more complicated to set up. I suggest you guys to look into it and after the workshop. For now, instead of this, you can just easily copy paste this HTTPS version. So now I will push it and you can see it has been pushed to GitHub. Now, if I refresh this page, you will see that all the files are added here. So anyone with this link, if you open this link now in Google, you will be able to see my files, the README file and this index file. So now let me tell you how pull works. So think that someone else made a comment like on, or even you made a different comment on some other system. Say right now, I will make some changes to the README. I will write hello world and directly comment it from the GitHub page. So now I'll just comment it. It will commit directly to the master branch. You can see that a new commit has been added. There are two commits now and this. But if I see my terminal, yeah, if I see here right now, it is still the old version. The hello world text is not yet added. So what I have to do is I have to pull these changes back into my local PC. To do that, I will just git pull and then copy this URL again. You can go here, code, click on HTTPS and then copy. I'll be using SSH personally. And then you can just paste that URL again. And then the name of the branch. So here, I do this and see. The changes added now. So in this way, you can easily push your code or pull your code from GitHub. So next up, one sec. Yeah. So next up, let's talk a bit about remotes. You see how I was adding the URL each time I was pulling or pushing to this repository? Well, it can get a bit annoying at times. Think of repositories as variable names, so we don't have to type the URL every time we pull or push. So to create one sec. Yeah. So to create variable like remote, first we will check if there are any existing remotes. So to list all the existing remotes, we will do git remote and then this v. So we can see there's no output here. So therefore there's no remote added. So now we will add our own remote. We will add the name. This is the we can add any variable name. I'm adding origin. This is the name of the remote and then I'll add this URL. So if I do remote v right now, you will see it is added like here. You can add any kind of remote to this. So instead now, if I want to push some change, let's say I edited the README. So I edited it. I am adding it again and then pushing it, committing and pushing. I can directly do git push origin and then the name of the branch. So in this way, I don't have to write the URL every time here. So the change is now added. Now let me show you. Now let me show to you one of the most exciting parts of this: how to send a pull request or how to contribute to other repositories on GitHub. So I will go back to the original repository, the KOSS IIT KGP one, this one. Yeah. So we added some code sample here. So for you guys to try out or add new features to with some bugs in it. Like this code, you can clearly see there are some bugs, like sum is a minus b. Let me show you how to fix something like this. So the very first thing that we will do is that we will go to this repository and click on this fork option and fork on my own account. So what forking does essentially is it will copy the repository to your own username. So the advantages of forking is that, say, it can get too messy to do everything on the original repository. Like if I was to do everything here, it will be very messy if there are like 1,000 people working on a single repository and everyone was committing all their changes in like one repository. It will get very annoying. So what people do is they fork the repo and then they make all the changes. Once they're satisfied with the change, they create a pull request back to the original repository and then delete their own this version. So now that I've forked the version, what I will do is, let me show you the workflow. The next thing that we are supposed to do is clone it. So I will clone it. You guys can use the HTTPS version as I said before. I'll use the SSH. So I'll go back and then in my home folder, I'll clone it. To clone some repository from GitHub, you can just, yeah, you will copy this URL and then you will add git clone and the URL of the repository. So it will now clone here. And you can see it has been cloned into this folder. Okay. So now the next step is that you will create a new branch. Of course, creating a new branch is not 100% required if you're doing it on your own file, since no one else is working on it. So I'll just show you how to do it directly. Like I will see the code samples and I will try to run the python sample.py file. Let's see what happens. We can see there are some errors in the code. Let me just run the file. This code sample.py is actually it requires VS Code to be installed. So you guys can just use any other editor you'd like. You can directly open the file from Explorer and even edit the file using Notepad if you'd like. Here. So I can see there's some errors in the code. It is supposed to add two numbers. So what I will do is I'll make it a plus b and then return the sum. Let's now print it and let's see if it works. Here, it finally prints the sum of the two numbers 5 plus 2, which is supposed to be 7. Now that I've fixed the bug, let me push this change back into the main repository. I will go back to the sample and then I'll add the file first. Code samples, then sample.py. This is the file I had changed. So I will add it and then I'll create commit. I haven't added the global flag. If you add this global thing, you won't be asked for your username and user email every time you do this. Yeah. So I'll create a commit now and then I'll finally push it back to my origin. I think the branch is called main here. Yeah. So now that it is done, I can see that this branch is one comment ahead of KOSS IIT KGP. So what I will do is I will now create a pull request. Like if you see this, I have pushed and then finally I have to create a pull request. So I'll go back to this GitHub page. I will click on contribute and then open pull request. This will open a pull request in the original KOSS IIT KG page. So like these are all the changes that I've made in the code. Now I'll click on create pull request and then I'll add some title and some description, some title, and then I can add a comment if required. Yeah. So now I'll create a pull request and then see it will be checking if this branch is automatically merged. So is anyone there? Like, can anyone else merge by branch here? Can anyone else click this? Aditya or Ujjwal or anyone else?
I'm doing good.
Yeah, sure. Like, just tell me once it is done. I'll show the next steps. Meanwhile, do you guys have any questions up to this point?
Can you put this GitHub link in the
Yeah,
chat?
sure, sure. Yeah. Aditya, have you merged it? Or Chirag or anyone else?
Some it appears I don't have right access.
Okay. Then I'll merge this pull request myself because I can only do this because I'm like an admin on the GitHub workshop. You guys normally cannot merge your own pull request. So I will merge this pull request now and then I'll confirm the merge. So this pull request is now merged, and if we see the code now, it will show you that the code has been changed. This is the code that I just added and I fixed the bug in this file. So now if I go back to my fork here, if I go back to my fork and then refresh it, it will show you that this branch is one commit behind KOSS IIT KGP. Let's see why that happens. So if we click on the commit logs, we can see there are two commits here. The last commit in my own fork is fixed bug in sample py, and the last commit is fixed bug in sample py, and then this is the automatically created commit. GitHub automatically creates this commit when someone merges a pull request. So what I will do is to bring it back up to date is here. So what I will do is I will add the remote. I will add this original repository as a remote. I will copy the URL and let's say I'll name it upstream. Yeah, I'll name this upstream and then add it as a remote. If I do git remote v now, you can see the origin is my own file. I mean my own account, and the upstream one is the original repository. So now what I will do is I will pull from this one. I will pull the updates from this one. Git pull upstream and then the brand name of the branch, which is main. It will now pull these changes and now I will push back the changes into this my version. So if I now push in back into origin, you can see that this branch is now up to date with the main repo. So this is how you basically create and merge a pull request. So to recap, this is how it works. So let's say there's project in this example KOSS IIT KGP / code base, which has a bug in it. Now you think that you can fix the bug. Then what are the steps you should take? So you should basically first fork the repository and then you will clone the repository onto your own machine. After you have cloned, you will fix all the bugs like you want to fix, and then finally you will push it back to your own repository. After that, you will create a pull request in the original repository, and then finally someone, if they think the pull request is good, they will merge it. Even if they don't, they can leave reviews and stuff. You can edit your pull request that way. So after merging the pull request, the original code base will be finally finally free of bugs. Now we want you to send a PR to our repository. The link I've already sent in the workshop, like this repository, we have already created some issues like this: bug in Python code, bug in C code, bug in JS code, and also some example files like add a function to subtract two numbers. So we want you to send pull request to this repository and fix this codes. I see someone has already created an update sample C file, which is really good. Just a comment added. Yeah, cool. This is really nice. This is what I'm talking about. So you did it correctly. And now if I merge the pull request to this, you can see it will be added in the main sample of the code, like here. Just a comment added. And that's how the pull requests work essentially. So please guys, like if you want to try out, and this is the perfect repository for you to start with.
Soham, can you go through what we should do from fork? Actually, I didn't get it because
Yeah, sure. Which part?
from fork, actually, I'm slightly confused on that part.
Yeah, cool. So see, I have to fork this repository. What I will do is click on the fork, and I have already made one. Next up, I will clone this repository back onto my own PC. I will click on this copy, and then let me just remove the existing one here. Then I will clone it back. The command for cloning is git clone and then the URL. Okay. So this basically clones the repository back onto your own machine if you don't have it already. Did you understand this part?
Okay, now I got it. Then
Okay. So after that, you will just go to that repository and then you will find any issues or any codes. I mean, if there is anything you would like to change, you will just open the file and then let's say I open this in Explorer. Yeah, this is the project basically. So I edit the README using Notepad. How to open it? Here. This is the README. I will just add this in the Notepad. So I will then close the file. I will then get add as you have learned in the previous part of this workshop. So I will add the README file and then I'll comment it back. Did you understand this part?
yeah, I got it. I got it.
Yeah. So I will like comment this part and then I will push it to my own repository. Like it is done now, and if I reload this page, you will see the hello world text has been added. So finally, I think when I have created a commit, what I will do is click on contribute, and after clicking contribute, I will click on open pull request. After this, I will create a pull request and then add some title and finally create a pull request. So were you able to understand up to this part?
Yes.
Okay, so that's basically it. There is nothing more. That's how you create a pull request. So you can see that even the Linux kernel, if you are aware, there's a Linux operating system. Even that the kernel of that operating system, it is also on GitHub. Let me show you here. This is the Linux kernel. The entire operating system is on GitHub. So one day, even maybe you shall be able to submit a pull request fixing some bugs on this repository. You can maybe even fix some bugs or add some new features to an entire operating system, like so many pull requests have done. So that's basically it. And here are some good places to check out. First of all are the MetaKGP repositories. Here we have some, like, the meta KGP page we have. So we have like, where is my prof? There are other different multiple repositories. If you like, you can contribute to these repositories, maybe fix some bugs or add some new features. Then next up, you can see for repositories which have this label, good first issue. Like in this workshop, we created some issues which have this good first issue label. So what this basically means is that this issue is actually not very hard and is actually simple to solve, and a beginner who is learning Git or learning to code, they can solve this issue. And finally, you can also participate in Kharagpur Winter of Code. This is held by KOSS IIT KGP every year in December, and it is basically a precursor to Google Summer of Code. I highly recommend you guys to participate in it, as it will teach you a lot about open source contributions and development. For more advanced stuff, you can check out some advanced resources. These advanced resources are in the resources part here. You can check these things about rebasing, squashing. You can also check out how to create SSH keys, etc. Next up, I recommend you guys to get the GitHub student pack, this thing. So to apply for GitHub student pack, you have to apply with your institute email ID, the irtkgp.ac.in one, and you might have to submit your registration card to get this pack. So just it is very useful. You get a bunch of free stuff like free domain names, free servers, etc. A lot of things for free. And finally, you can also check out GitHub pages on Google. It is very useful. It can host your website for free, for absolutely free. You don't have to pay any money to host your own website. Like the Better Google repository I created, I could have used GitHub pages to host that website. Finally, you can participate in Hacktoberfest, which is a monthly coding thing that goes on in October and is conducted by DigitalOcean. So in that Hacktoberfest, if you create, say, like 3 pull requests in any repository, you will get this cool looking t-shirt. It is very like educational and also gives you a cool t-shirt. So I hope you guys will check it out. It happens in October. So the Hacktoberfest 2021 has ended. It was done in 2021. It will be done again in 2022 this year in October. Finally, we want to fill your feedback form, and I will send this link in the description soon. I mean, in the chat box soon. I hope you guys get good at Git. Do you guys have any doubts?
I have a doubt.
Yeah.
Like I have also contributed earlier, but I have never created that token which we created in this workshop.
Yeah.
So is it automatically created by Git?
No. Actually, what happened is that up till like last year, you didn't have to create a token. You could directly log in with your password and username on GitHub. But actually, it was considered insecure, so they introduced this thing called personal access token. This thing. If you already have a SSH key, you don't have to do it anymore. This is only required if you are using HTTPS.
Okay.
Any other questions? Okay, so I guess you guys don't have any questions right now. Let's do a little quiz like we did earlier. I will share the link in the chat box and also present it. 1 second.
So maybe you can tell something about your terminal. People
Oh
are
yeah,
interested
yeah,
in
yeah.
it.
So this is basically Windows subsystem on Linux. I'm not using Git Bash because it causes some problems on my system. So you can install it on the Microsoft Store. Like, this is actually better to use than Git Bash since it is using Linux directly, but it is also a bit more complicated to set up. Here, you will go to Debian and then install a Linux distro on your PC. I recommend you guys check it out and do it when you like. If you want to get into this more seriously, you guys should install Linux on your Windows system. And also this thing, this is called the Windows terminal. You guys might have been asked during the Git Bash installation about like adding a profile to Windows Terminal. So Windows Terminal you have to install from the Microsoft Store. It is available there.
What to do for
Do we
Mac?
need to?
Yeah.
For Mac, can we do anything? Means any styling?
Yeah, sure. Actually, this is basically based on ZSH. So there are styling files available on the internet. Like 1 second. The styling that I'm using for Mac users, you can use this. You will have to learn a bit about ZSH, how to style this online. Once you have learned that, you can use my dot files. I have sent the link in the description. You can then learn how to use it, and then you will be able to customize it like mine. I recommend you guys to check it out after the workshop.
Okay.
Do we need to get both Debian and Windows Terminal or only one of them?
I couldn't understand. Could you please repeat your question?
I mean, Debian and Windows Terminal are both different things or just
Uh,
two options for
Actually,
it?
Windows Terminal is just a terminal. You can use anything in it, even PowerShell or Windows Command Prompt. And this is basically running a WSL. So if your question is between WSL and a virtual machine VM, then they're essentially the same. There is not much difference, but WSL is faster.
Okay, but and which one should we use as a beginner?
As a beginner, I think it is better if you use Debian, or actually, it does not matter since both are essentially the same. I think this is better. WSL is better. To install WSL, just just Google it, and you will get some good resources like how to install Debian in Windows 10. You can check out this article or just Google for different articles and then learn how to do it.
So it will work fine on Windows and
Yeah, it
or
will work fine
it
on Windows.
Linux.
Linux is already Linux, so you don't have to do anything there. This
Yeah,
will
yeah.
basically install Linux on Windows.
I never used Linux, so
Yeah, it is fine. Like you will one day learn. It is much easier to program in Linux than in Windows. So I guess you guys should check it out.
okay. Thank you.
So if we install Debian, I mean the Linux will automatically get installed in our system.
Yeah. Basically, there are some other steps too, like WSL installation.
Or do we need to use a virtual machine or something?
You don't need to use a virtual machine. It will automatically install. Microsoft has already included a virtual machine inside Windows in Windows 10 and 11. So this is how you set up Debian in your PC. If you guys want, you can contact me on like Teams after the workshop, and I can help you install Debian.
Okay.
So any other questions?
Sir, is there a Teams group for this?
Forward like
This meeting.
yeah. Like Teams group. This is the Teams. I think you're talking about this. Are you talking about
Yeah.
this?
Yes, sir. I don't have the code for
Okay,
this.
okay. So one thing, like, don't call us sir. I'm just in my second year, so you
Oh,
can call
sorry.
us by our names.
Yeah, sure.
And yeah, one sec. I'll share this image. 1 second.
You must have seen the poster for this workshop. That
Yeah.
poster has the code for
Yeah,
the team.
exactly. I was going to share that. So here is the image. The Teams code is D51JU2Q. So you
Okay.
can join with this code. You can also ask us any doubts in this channel or in the queries channel.
Okay, sure. Thank you.
So I guess if we don't have any other questions, we can get started with the quiz.
I have a question. I made changes in the sample.c file.
Yeah.
Then I was trying to push it to my own account's forked version.
Yeah.
But it didn't happen, and I got a message to link the GitHub account, and then I got confused. What to do there?
Can you please screenshot your issue in the chat box? Then maybe my friends will be able to help. Like, what
Okay.
is the error that is being shown?
Okay, okay, I'll do that.
Yeah, yeah. So in the meanwhile, I'm sharing the link to this Menti. Yeah. So please join on this. Hmm. Can you guys see my screen?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, cool. So please join and we will start in 2 minutes. If you guys can't see the chat box, then just directly go to menti.com and use this code to join. So I don't think anyone else is going to join. So I'm starting it right now. Yeah. If you answer first, you will get more points. The correct answer is, yeah, it keeps the main repository clean, and also that comments cannot be made to the main repository if you don't have a contributor. That's why, like in this example before, when I was trying to merge, I was asking others to merge. Because usually, if you guys create a pull request, you won't be able to merge it yourself. Pull requests can indeed be made without forking between two branches of the same repo. And yeah, you can clone without forking. So let's see who has got the most points. Congrats, Parag and Samarth, but we have one or two more questions. Let's see who is able to win this. Okay, so this is the second question. I'm starting the countdown. Nice, most of you got it right. This is the correct command to add a remote link. This is the variable name. I'm using the variable name origin here. Nice, Samarth is still at the top. And now the final question. Sorry, this was just a joke question. All the answers are correct, so you don't really have to vote on any. You can just click on anything. Congratulations, Samit. You got the highest points in the last round. This was just about quickly clicking, so don't worry.
Yeah, I know. Thank you.
Mhm. Oh, nice. Okay, that's it then. I guess if you have any working doubts, you can still ask me, or
I
you
have a doubt.
can. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I had a doubt regarding the thing that Git init we used to tell Git that okay, you start recording means you start keeping track from here
Yeah,
on.
yeah.
And then what command do you use any command to tell Git that okay, my work is done, so now you can any comment like that?
Actually, Git in is not like recording. Git init is like creating some files. Like, let's see. If I make some folder, I just name it folder. I named it. I went inside it. Now you can see this folder is empty. It has nothing in it. If I
Mhm.
now do Git init, it basically initializes this .git file, .git folder. So this .git folder actually contains all of your commits, branches, everything in it. So it is not actually like recording, it is just keeping track in a separate directory. That's the purpose of Git init. It initializes a repository.
Okay, and this file is hidden means the Git file which we created just now.
Yeah, this .git file is actually hidden. If you do .ls, won't be able to see. LSC actually helps you to see all the hidden files in the directory. So you don't have to edit this by hand. You don't really do that unless very advanced user.
Okay, and we don't need to means delete it also, right? Means at the last if we are done with the project or anything like that.
Yeah, you don't have to do anything. You don't have to touch this folder anymore. It
Okay.
just exists. Yeah, any other questions? Someone Aryan Goenka posted a issue. When I tried to push, I got this. I think you posted two commands at once. Like, don't push git push. The command is just git push and then the URL. Acha, 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 sorry. My bad. I didn't check it. Just click on authorize git credential manager.
Okay, and how to fix my git bash? I am not being able to type a new command in it. Like
Uh,
the git status also
yeah,
didn't
just
work.
click. If some command hangs in your terminal ever, you can just click Control and then C. Like I type a command, then if I click Control C, it will. Like if I type the sleep,
Okay,
I click Control C, it will exit the command.
okay.
Also, one more thing, the git push and git status commands are actually a bit different. So you don't write these commands at once together.
Sorry, can you repeat?
The git push and the git status, I was just showing what was the main master branch. You don't have to do it after git push always. It is like just to see.
Okay, thank you.
Hmm. So any other questions?
And one more thing, I also faced one thing like that, in which we are stuck in the some kind of means editorial part or something like that, in which we have to we have to enter queue and then we have to exit for quitting. So how to avoid those things in while using the Git?
I didn't understand your question. Can you please like repeat it?
I guess he asked about quitting commit from Vim.
Yeah, some like if we do write only git commit and don't write minus m na message, then I am getting stuck in the means some
Oh, okay. I understood what you were saying. Let me show you how to fix it. I create some file abcd, save it. Yeah. Now if I try to commit it, yeah. If I try to commit it, it will open this. Are you talking about this thing?
Yeah,
Actually, it will.
stop
If it
open.
is like this, it is nano. If this is here, you can press Control plus X to exit. And if it opens V, like if it opens this thing, is it this thing?
Actually, in
If
my case, instead of opening the editor in the terminal itself, it is showing some things like some things are coming written, and then it keeps hanging like that. And then after I
yeah,
type
yeah,
Q,
actually, it is opening editor in the terminal. Can you please screenshot? I mean, can you please screenshot and put it in the chat box? Then I can tell what is the problem, how to
okay, then
quit
I have
it.
to do it again. Then I have to do it again. I think like I did it few days back while I was going through the editorial.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah. I think
okay.
you opened, yeah, I think you opened some editor and there was this problem in quitting.
Okay, then I will try it once again, and when the problem comes, I will post it in this workshop Teams only.
Yeah, yeah, you just post it here or in the queries channel. Like, you post it
Uh,
here in this channel, queries.
sure.
Hmm. Hmm. So, anyone, any other questions? So I guess you guys don't have any other questions. So thank you for attending this workshop. I guess we can end it now.